people, it's me, Anja. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another recent reads video, as you know by the title. So, yesterday on Instagram, I posted a poll, and I was asking you guys which days you would prefer me uploading, because in quarantine, since I have more free time, I considered uploading twice a week, and currently, Thursday and Saturday is winning over Friday and Sunday, but it's only 67% to 33%. So I don't actually know what will win, but you will know what will win when you watch this video, because it will either be uploaded on Thursday or Friday, depending on the results of that poll. And by the way, if you want to vote on the next poll that I put on my stories about like my booktube schedule or my booktube in general, my Instagram is in the description below as per usual, as well as my Goodreads. And do I have other social media handles? I don't. So anyway, whenever I mention my Goodreads account, my account is in the description below in case you are interested in like what I've read recently. I never put up, I know that there's a currently reading feature on Goodreads, but I never use it. So anyway, the first book on this list is called Michigan vs. the Boys, written by Carrie S. Allen. This is a YA contemporary book about Michigan, who joins a boys hockey team after her girls hockey team is cut due to budget or something. Anyway, the boys on her new team do not treat her very well, and it comes to a point where hazing crosses the line to sexual assault. So there's a trigger warning for sexual assault. I'm so sorry, I should have mentioned that at the beginning of this review. I rated this book 3.5 stars. I read this book like recently after reading We Are the Wildcats, and it reminded me a lot of We Are the Wildcats just because this topic of sexual assault happens so often and so commonly, and it's very, very realistic. And that was the most prominent part of this story. I wasn't emotionally connected to Michigan as a character or as a person or anything else, so I rated this book 3.5 stars. And so basically, if you enjoyed We Are the Wildcats and you want something similar, I would recommend this story. The next book on this list is What I Like About You, written by Marisa Kanter. This is a YA contemporary book. It follows a bit of a love triangle, kind of. So the dealio is, Hallie likes Nash. Nash likes Kels. Nash is unaware that Kels and Hallie are the same person because Kels and Nash have an online friendship. So Kels is Hallie's online username. But like I said, the problem is Nash doesn't know that Kels and Hallie are the same person. I really like this book, and I ended up rating it 4 stars because I loved the representation of having like an internet persona that's different from your in real life persona, because I can relate to that. I don't think that I act like completely different online than I do in person, but it's like there's a difference, definitely. That having like online friendships and all of that is definitely something I can relate to, and it reminded me of Eliza No Monsters. So that, I love Eliza No Monsters. That book is so good. Anyway, What I Like About You, also another similarity is that What I Like About You had anxiety representation, so that was really solid, and I really liked it. And I ended up rating this book 4 stars because I really enjoyed it, and I loved Hallie's personality and her perspective, and it was just really cute. And I was always like, I shipped them, but I was like, wait, Nash doesn't know yet, dang it. But I was still shipping them, and it was just absolutely so cute and so wonderful and so lovely, and I just really enjoyed it. And yeah, I just really liked it. The next book that I read is called You Must Not Miss, written by Katrina Leno. Is it Leno or Leno? I don't know. Anyway, You Must Not Miss is a YA thriller, and I am always like, I didn't know that this was a thriller before I went into it. I thought that it was a magical realism contemporary story. So I rated this book 2 stars because it just took a tone that I wasn't expecting, and not in a good way. And I was just like, what the heck is this? I don't like it. I don't like the direction that this book took. at all. Apparently, it just turned into like a revenge story, and I don't like revenge stories because I just don't condone revenge. So I didn't really like it at all. So You Must Not Miss follows Magpie, who's been through all this crap. There's a trigger warning for sexual assault, because that's some of the crap that she's been through. So she creates this alternate reality called Neo, and that's where like she deals with all the crap that she's dealt with. And I just preferred, first of all, I preferred what was happening in the real world than what was happening in Neo. Second of all, the stuff that happened in Neo took of most of the book, which is the part that I didn't really like. And stuff that happened in Neo, I do not support. So I rated this book 2 stars, and maybe Katrina is just better at writing like regular contemporary stories than thrillers. So there's that. This book reminded me of Parasite, but like not in a good way, you know? The next book is actually a contemporary magical realism story, and it is How to Disappear Completely, written by Ali Standish. I rated this book is juvenile contemporary. I didn't say that, but it's juvenile fiction. Anyway, I rated this book 4 stars. It was really, really good. It follows 12-year-old Emma, who finds out that she has vitiligo at her grandmother's funeral. I'm so sorry if I butchered the pronunciation of that word. Apparently, I can't speak eloquently lately. Anyway, this book was really, really good. I loved that Ali talked about identity and loss in such an eloquent way. I love this book so much, hence why I rated it 4 stars, and it's the best book that I read in this list. It was just really, really good, and I just really loved it. I loved Emma. She's such a strong, resilient character, and I loved her friendships, and I just found the entire story to be very realistic, and it was just so good, and I just really, really enjoyed it. And yes. So after really enjoying How to Disappear Completely, I decided to read another book by Ali Standish, and that is The Ethan I Was Before, which follows Ethan, who blames himself after a tragic accident involving his best friend. Ali did an amazing job talking about grief and loss and forgiveness and guilt, and I just really, really liked it. This story was very realistic. The characters were awesome. I ended up rating this book 3.5 stars, whereas when I rated How to Disappear Completely 4 stars, just because I think I just read it too soon to the other one, so I ended up giving it a slightly lower rating. And I would say that How to Disappear Completely was definitely better. And they talked about, like, I think it's because I read these books back to back, and because the stories were a little bit too similar, so I just felt like I was kind of reading the same story again. So maybe people who are reading these books don't read them back to back, and just read them with some, time in between. More time than, a few hours like I did. So overall, I rated The Ethan I Was Before 3.5 stars, and I am intrigued by the rest of Ali's books. The last book that I read is called Invictus, written by Ryan Graudin. Ryan is an author that I'm very, very familiar with, because I've read Wolf by Wolf, I've read Blood for Blood, I read The Walled City, I've read Island to Island, the little novella. So I'm very familiar with her work, and Invictus is a YA science fiction, and I was a little bit skeptical going into it because it deals with time travel, and time travel has a tendency to not make any sense. So after my experiences with like Avengers Endgame, The Cursed Child, I was a little bit skeptical about going into this book, but I enjoyed it. I ended up rating it 3.5 stars, and Ryan did a good job with time travel. I would say that it did make sense. It follows Fairway, who was born out of time, and he's part of this crew, and they are your typical time traveling thieves. So that's the premise. Again, like I said, I rated it 3.5 stars. I really wanted to rate it 4 stars, but in retrospect, the last maybe 25% was the strongest part, and I just wish that the first 75% was just as strong as the end. So yes, if there was a sequel, I don't know if I would read it, because like I just don't want to go through that slow beginning over again, you know. So I'm glad it's a standalone. So anyway, it's 3.5 stars, and if you're into science fiction, you may enjoy it a little bit more than me. I don't know why I always say that. So anyway, I rated this book 3.5 stars. So that's the end of this video. The best book that I read in this week was How to Disappear Completely. The worst book I read was You Must Not Miss. I could recommend all the books on this list except for You Must Not Miss, I believe. So basically, if I rated a book 3.5 stars or higher, I recommend it. So yeah, that's great. Anyway, in April, I read a total of 31 books. So that was a solid reading month. In May, I hope to read more because like finals are over, school has ended, and I don't even know if I'm going back to school in the fall. I hope to, obviously, but like I have no idea right now. Like everything's still up in the air about like next term and everything. Anyway, I hope that May is a solid reading month because I hope to be reading a lot more than I did in April, which I know sounds like such a high, lofty goal since I did read 31 books in April, which is more books than there are days in April. But anyway, again, I don't say that number to like flex on anybody or to like brag about like how fast I read or anything. I mean my account to be a positive, non-judgmental space, and especially in quarantine, since I know right now some people are not in very safe spaces. So I hope that my channel is a safe space for you, and with that said, I hope that everybody is staying safe, staying healthy, staying happy, and just staying inside, except for essential trips such as the walk I'm on. So anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below what you've been reading recently, how your reading month of April went, how you hope May is going. I don't know. For my channel, I plan to do a book tag. I obviously plan to do recent reads videos. If you have any like video requests other than recent reads, then comment down those as well. So I'm doing a lot of pre-filming lately because, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm uploading twice a week now. I'm not completely certain which days as of this moment, but in my next video I will confirm that. So anyway, like I said at the beginning of this video, my Bookstagram and my Goodreads are in the description below in case you are interested in like more like day-to-day of like what I'm doing. So anywho, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below all the things I said before, and thanks for watching. Thank you.